Okay, good afternoon, gents. There's a few in this morning. Hello, let's have a look. Hello, I see our trader issue is not resolved. Wondering when we're safe. Okay, I heard it was. I stopped, mine seems to be fine. What's the problem? Okay, I've had a message saying it has. Let me just flick over. Let me have a look. It was on that one, I think. Okay. Bear with me just a second. Yeah, okay. Just going to bring this in quickly. We're aware there, that was 5 hours ago, we're aware the issues of rhythmic outage caused blah, 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 blah. It has been fixed. We will be fixing all accounts impacted. So we've had it from Darren Martin 5 hours ago that was put in, so it has been fixed. So fingers crossed. So shut down. So fingers crossed. So Stop Hunter, hello. Kevin, Harminder. Who else? Brick, Stop Hunter, Speedy Boy. What you congratulating? What's he done? Laufey, Ionis, hi all. Nice ice cream there, lads. Nice ice cream. What am I missing? Nice ice cream. What am I missing? What am I missing? Yesterday, slippage, fucked up, lost. Oh, bad luck, mate. Bad luck. Okay, market opens in about 30 seconds. So, yeah, a bit of a ball ache yesterday. On, in my opinion, a damn good trading day. That was a right pain in the arse. Just the noise you made before you sounded like you're having ice cream. Ah, that one. Yeah, something like that. Okay, so, yeah. Okay, so I was looking at that very closely. So we may be having some more upwards stuff. I don't know. I mean, obviously the news caused this. We started here. News caused it. Came back to here. Let's have a look. Yeah, a bit risky that one. So leg. It looks like a two-tiered channel. So if we can get a higher low here, that might be. Let's have a look. Okay, leg. Let's see what happens here.
Order submitted.
See if we can get a higher low here. I'm just wondering actually whether that's more like it. Hard to say. Let's have a look at this. If this goes higher, I may jump in for a quick 6 ticks. Let me just see. Okay. Yeah, I'm just wondering whether there's some sort of channel there. Let's just remove it just for a second. I can micro adjust that so it fits, but that's all I'm prepared to do. So let's keep an eye on that. Okay, that's a bit risky in my opinion. It may go up. Leg. I'm not a fan of that. That's going to come down, I think. Or go sideways. Maybe I'm wrong. It's too late now, really, isn't it? Leg. Trouble is, I've got a feeling that may go a bit sideways. I could be wrong. See, it started off sideways, didn't it? But then obviously the news caused us to have that little spike. Took it for 2 points. Good on you, mate. I'll tell you what I haven't done. Let me just get rid of this a
Order
sec.
canceled.
I haven't reloaded my historic. So let's have a look at this. Okay, that looks like it's off again, doesn't it? Maybe that's a leg, 2 legs of correction, leg again. Actually, that actually might not be a bad trade. Leg up, 2 legs back, leg up. So we could get up to here. Well, that might be. Hurry up. Bearing in mind we have got some news. I hate it when it does that. Fries my bloody brain. Okay, so that may be like that. We got a leg up, 2 legs back, leg and leg. Let's have a look at this. Let's remove that. Leg, 2 legs back, leg. That's a possibility. So we've got news coming up in 30 minutes, so let's have a look. Yeah, it looks like a leg, 2 legs back, 1 leg, 2 legs. So we may get up to here. We may. Unfortunately, it's gone without us. I just wasn't a massive fan of that bar. It's definitely on the bullish side. No argument there. Maybe that one was the better one to go, just indicating that, yeah, we probably are going up. So I just have to keep an eye on that. Frustrated the hell out of me yesterday seeing that price action. As far as I'm concerned, there was a trade there which I've been waiting for weeks. I'll show you in a minute if we can maybe get a couple of legs down here. You hear me talk about this trade all the time. Leg up, 2 legs of correction, and then a higher low. And we had just that. I'll show you quickly there. That was the leg we were looking at. We got 2 legs of correction, and that was the higher low. I talk about that all the time. 1 leg, 2 legs of correction, leading us to this, and then a higher low. I would have absolutely jumped all over that, and I would have held that as well. I would have let it go up so far and dragged it up. So I would have got maybe 6-8 points plus on that. So I was so frustrated. You took it for 3 points. Are you on about this one, are you? That one there. I thought that was an absolute beauty. Big, lovely big leg up, 2 legs of correction and a higher low. I'm waiting for that for ages, and look at it go. And it didn't stop there, did it? Okay, so there is, you may call that a higher low. So far, we're still here, so let's see what happens. Oh, you're on about today? Yeah, I mean, that, so frustrating, isn't it? Yesterday, seeing that yesterday. I was just keeping an eye on it yesterday, and I just thought, that is the trade of the week. I've just been looking for that type of trade. Okay, so let's try and figure out what's going on. I do wonder whether there is something like this working. Touched here, touched here, touched here, touch, touch, touch. I just think that's better, actually. Yeah, that 1, 2. Defo, yeah. I mean, I love that type of trade. We have a lovely leg up and it fitted beautiful. Then we had 1, 2 legs of correction and then a higher low. Oh, I love those trades that much. I would have held on for that one. And after that first little push, I'd have got 6 points minimum. I'd have locked in 6 points minimum, but I like to think I'd have got maybe 9 or more. Okay, that is a second entry long. I think, personally, I'm staying out of that. It is a little break, but I have a feeling this is a channel. And that's the case. We're going to go down, break, and then come down. So I think that one, in my opinion, although it's a second entry long, this is just my opinion. Don't listen to me, because I could be wrong. We got a touch here, touch here, touch here, and it's touching 3 times. So that, to me, I think is a little bit risky. But if you're in it or you're taking it, you know, good luck to you. I hope it works for you. I'm not sure exactly how this channel's fitted at the moment, but I think it's a bit risky personally. But that is just my opinion. In all opinion, I'm just like you guys. I'm no different to you guys. You know, I have my opinion. The only difference is you hear my opinion, I don't hear yours. So that to me looks like a little leg. I mean, it's clearly working. That looks like a leg and a break. I was thinking leg, little push up and then down to here. I'm still not happy about where my channel is at the moment. I can't adjust that anymore without, you know what I mean? So you'd have definitely got 2 points out of it anyway. Well, 1.5. Yeah, 1.5, 1.75, something like that. I'm just unsure about what's going on here at the moment. My concern is touch, 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 touch. I think leg. See, that's why I'm staying out of this. Hey Indy, how you doing, Pod? Rodian, how you doing, mates? Got your 1 point, fair enough. It's a bit risky for me. What would you have generally got out of it? Tick above it, which is say about there, maybe a bit less. You'd have squeezed a 1.5 out of it, I think. Yeah, that's the tick, see. You'd have got a 0.5 out of that. My slight concern is this, do you know what? Sometimes I still doubt myself. Sometimes I do these channels, blah, blah, blah. And then when I look at people like Marco's and other people, slightly more experienced traders than me, and they all have this, how I had it a couple of days ago, Mac had it slightly different. But then I looked at others and Marco had it the same. The Penguin guy had it the same. So what I've got to realise is most of the time I have it right. So that's why I'm doubting that. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, I always say you've got to do what's right for you. I mean, sometimes I hear people, there was someone said the other day, I'd sell here. I can never do if someone says that. I have done in the past and it's not worked well, so you have to do what you believe is right. It's the only way you learn, really. But I just think that, see, for me, there's a bit of a channel going there, a little channel, and I think there's going to be a break and then down to this side. And I could be wrong. Could be a failure, but it's a little break that. It's unusual to have such a small break that pushes up, which tells me I think there's a bigger channel from here. And the way that's coming down, I was right to stay out of it because it's just a little push up. It's not a continuation to me. And I'd say that stops vulnerable. There is a second entry long there, but I think that's a trap. I think that's going to trigger, which it hasn't come down. That's just my thoughts. I might be wrong. But this is just a bit sideways and a bit weird, isn't it? And if it is in this channel, I mean, it may work in this top section of the channel, but for me, this is coming down. It's going to take out that stop, take out the stop from the second entry long. But I am aware that it is working on that midline, so there is a possibility it could push up. But for me, it's a bit risky. And, my instinct or that gut feeling I tend to get now is usually right. But if it isn't right, the worst I'm going to do is not make any money. But I'm not going to lose anything. That's what makes me think. So I can see that breaking below there. So there's longs in there, and there's longs in there. But it is potentially working along this midline, so I got mixed feelings, and it's sideways, so I think it's risky anyway. Yeah, I don't like getting into trades that just go for 6 ticks exactly. Usually I think I've made the right decision by staying out, but it does seem to be. In a break, 1, 2, and I'm a bit mixed feelings about this. Okay, that seemed to work. Let's see what it does now. Can actually bring that down a fraction. It's holding on that top line. But what I will say is I'm not 100% happy that where my is it when it does that? I'm not 100% happy where my channel is. So if we go from here, touch, yeah. Let me just get rid of this a minute. I mean, it just could be the channel. It just could be a break at a new high. But if I'm not confident something's not right, I tend to avoid the trade. Yeah, I'm still not happy about that. Something's not right. Let's remove it. See, we're touching, working nice. It's come back to that line. So I should probably put that there, actually. In which case, maybe a break. I don't know. It's still working up, isn't it? So, I don't know how you guys have got that, but I'm not happy with it. We try that from there to there. Let's just spin that a minute. Still not happy about that. Anybody else got a bigger channel there that looks any better than that? Well, that looks better than that. Look better than that, but trouble is, until I get it right, I'm not confident to take a trade. See, it could be just like that, and we might make a. I'm playing the spike and channel, so I have it from the third candle, 1, 2, from this big one here. You mean what? I have the same big channel up, plus measured moves in play. I have it from the third candle after the news. Oh, you got it from up here somewhere. So 1, 2, 3. So you're around about here then, yeah? Around about there. Okay, so the trouble is that will give us an overshoot. Yeah, it works there, but that will give us an overshoot. That's what I mean. It's, you have it the same as what? So you have it from about there then, really, yeah? Bit lower. 1, 2, 3. So there, what? Yeah. Let's have a look. Okay, yeah, that looks a bit better. Okay, that looks better. So would I have taken that still? The trouble is, I wouldn't have taken that because it could have gone sideways to here, depending on where I have it from the wick of this. You said the third candle after the spike, so that's the 1, 2, 3. So the wick of that, so that would be there. Is that there? What there? What or further up or further down? Make the overshoot the bottom instead. Oh, so you've got yours. I have it. So you've got yours there, then, haven't you? Yeah. See, that kind of looks okay as well. Let's see what it does here because it's holding on the top there. Let me have a look. As long as it stops there, that works out for the top. So we've got a touch there and a touch there. It's not an easy one today, is it? Sometimes it's easy, other times it's just hard to know exactly what to do. I like the way it's holding. If it goes any higher, I might have to bring it down to there maybe. I'd like it to touch there. In fact, I wonder if we can get it to touch there and there and there and see where that falls. Okay. I think that's what you meant, wasn't it? Okay, what I will say about that, I have it like that. Yeah, we've touched here a couple of times and we've touched here a couple of times. Touch there, touch there. Actually, see, you've got to visually look at the angle that fits within these parallel lines, haven't you? And I think that probably looks as good as I can get it at the moment. Trouble is that's why it's important to get it, because you don't know whether to take that. I mean, if the bottom of the the channel runs through there like that, then for me it's okay to take that, and I probably would have done. But as I'm not 100% sure how this is right, yeah, see, do you do a spike in the middle like that? I don't think you do you? Okay, that's gone up to there, so I can adjust that a fraction, and it fits perfect at the top, so that's good. So we've got a touch here and a touch here. Well, there's 1, 2, 3 clearly running on that line, so big bearish bar now, so you would expect that to at least get back to the middle line stroke the EMA, wouldn't you? I have seen traders take that. I saw Mac take one of those in one of his earlier videos. If you're bored one day, go onto Mac's YouTube channel and look at oldest and watch the first dozen or so. He trades quite different. He doesn't put it one tick below a stop, and I've seen him move his stop, move it 3 or 4 ticks below his the signal bar or his stop. Interesting to watch. Okay, so visually that doesn't look too bad. You could probably draw something else there, maybe. I hate it when it does that. Let's put it there. And slice that over just a touch. See, that kind of looks okay in there as well. The trouble is we've got a bigger channel, but obviously we have channels within channels. But I mean, possibility of a second entry long here, but do you want to go long into the tops? That's if they are the tops. Okay, leg. Let's see what goes on here. My feet isn't there. News and tar. Good point, mate. Yeah, I'm glad you said that. There is. It is 1400. Oh, look at that. Wow, that's a perler. Trouble is we're below the midline and we got the news. I like it though. I don't think it's a bad trade, that. It's a small risk, but it is just below the... let's have a look. I think that's okay, that. It's just quite a small risk as well. 2 points, 2.25 points. Okay, I like that. That's all right for 1-to-1, that is. Got 2 points. Yeah, good on you. Lovely little trade, that. I wish I'd have taken it now. It was a small risk as well. You've certainly got 2 points out of it. Now that is a nice little second entry long there. I had a slight doubt because it's just under the. I could have thought that. I was just worried about the news as well. I was worried about it going sideways, but yeah, nice little trade that. Good for 2 points, that for sure. I'm done for the day. Good on you, mate. Good on you. Oh, that's kind of you, mate. Kind of you to look after us paupers who haven't made any money yet. Yeah, there's clearly a channel working there, touch in there, and it touched there as well. It's working along there, so there's a smaller channel there. 2 lovely little legs back, nice little bullish bar, nice small one as well. What is that? It's supposed to tell me what size that is. Trouble is, I used to have pressed that and it tells you what the size is. But it's supposed to say this if I hang over the bar, I think. I'm going to have to figure out how to do all this, but it was about as small a risk as we've got at the moment. So let's go from just top to bottom. So the bar was 1.75 points. Okay, so you're looking 2.25 points. That's not a bad risk at the moment, see. And it is a lovely little second entry, isn't it? Actually a little textbook trade, that. I have just passed my 7 PA, you lucky boy. Well done, mate. Good on you, lad. Plus 400 on my other PAs. Good for you, matey. Good for you. I love hearing about people doing well. Gives you hope. Gives us paupers hope, doesn't it? Us mere peasants hope. Good day. Had a bad last week. Catching up. But like I've said before, something I'm thinking a lot of at the moment, it's about the overall picture, your equity curve. It just needs to go up. It can come down a little bit here and there. But ultimately, it's... Do you know, I remember I forget what happened. I had a bad day or I lost something. I can't remember. It was maybe 5 or 6 months ago. And Sam, 5Trader, sent me a message which stuck in my head. And he said, don't let one bad day define you as a trader. And that's exactly right, that is. Just because you've got a bad day, it doesn't matter. If you've had 6 good days, one bad day doesn't mean nothing. You know, it doesn't matter who you are. You could be the best trader in the world. You're going to have losing trades. And occasionally you're going to have a losing day. That's all I am doing is trading now one contract. Good on you, mate. I think that's the right answer, that is. Never kept PA for 1 month until now. Yeah, it is. I mean, when you think about it, it's common sense, isn't it? If you reduce the risk, you reduce the stress. And if you reduce the stress, it has less of an effect on your psychological behaviour while you're, sat trading. $1,000. Brilliant, mate, that is. That's brilliant. That's the key. I mean, how many times have we all heard this is a marathon, not a sprint? But, like the powers that be say, newer, less experienced traders always try and grow too quick. And that's exactly what we do. How many times have we blown accounts? But for me, I've always avoided going for one. I don't know how many people have said to me in the past, I've got to go for one contract. Another second end wrong. Bearing in mind, we got the news in 4.5 minutes, Kev. And what it's doing at the moment, a little bit of sideways there, so you don't want to get stuck in that news. If it triggers you and goes sideways, you might be in a bit of spot of bother, so I'd sit tight at the moment. But I don't know how many people. There's a trader buddy of mine, Marlon. I don't speak to him too much at the moment. I hope he hasn't given up, but he told me dozens of times just go down to 1 point, and I kept saying I would, and I never did, because I just thought it would take too long and makes sense, doesn't it? I'm done anyway. Yeah, of course, sure, yeah. I've put a stop loss for the day, $250, and that's it. Mate, if you're trading one contract and you can get $250, that's brilliant. What's that? 1, 2, 3, 4. That's over 4. That's 5 points a day. $250 a day. That's $1,200. That's nearly $5,000 a month on one contract. That's brilliant. I think $275 is my best day in the last 13 days. So if you can do that, in all fairness, I'm my sort of semi happy target is $100 a day. That will give me $2,000 a month. So if I can get up to say $5,000 or $6,000, pay myself $2,000 from that account, and then trade it for the next month, and then hopefully withdraw another $2,000. And if you can do that out of 10 accounts, that's $20,000 a month. After I blew my 12th PA, my physical and mental pain was way too much. It absolutely takes it out of you. I was feeling terrible for almost a week. Yeah, it does, mate. It's horrible. You can't tell people who've never traded before. My wife said to me, well, just don't do it. There's no way you can describe to someone. You have to have experienced trading to know what it's like. And it's obviously an issue because there's been thousands of books written about the psychological side it has. But for me, and I've said it so many times, it is going through a process of exposing yourself to that those powerful emotions till you can start affecting you less. You know, you can't, as me and you, we can't walk into a ring, stick a pair of boxing gloves on and expect to be calm and emotionless like a lot of the, you know, like professionals are, because they've exposed themselves many times. So, news, where are we? Okay, 2 minutes. So, the last bit of news we had was the non-farm payroll, or non-farm employment, isn't it? Yeah. Is that the NFP, is it? Yeah. That was at 12:30, so we had a quick positive spike there. And leading up to that, it was, in all fairness, just sideways. And as soon as we hit that, and this one is the ISM services. Okay, so hopefully, if we can, it can be on the slightly positive side. We may get another nice day. So okay, 20 seconds. So if you're in a trade, you're buggered, basically. Yes, it was still only touching once. I'm just wondering whether that might be a better option to go from there. Let's have a look. It's no better, is it? A shame about that. Okay, this is the news. Sometimes it does nothing. Oh no, tell a lie. 1 minute. Sorry. 1 minute. So hopefully it'd be nice to come down and bounce off this. If we're coming down now, that was actually a really nice little textbook second entry long, that. Okay. This is a way to find out if there's any traders out there who found out some news early. Somebody has. 15 seconds. If that's happened early, I expect some fireworks. Okay, more reasonably positive news, I think. The last one was positive. This one was positive. I think things are sounding positive. Things are going up. Crypto's going up. I think they've said there's no more rate hikes. I like that way. That's bounced off the top or close to it. There's going to be no more rate hikes for the next 6 to 8 months. So the next will be. So I think that's a good positive bit of news to work from. So, well, the last couple of days we've had 2 really good green days. I mean, we haven't been up here for quite a while. So that's positive. Crypto's positive. So I think things are maybe starting to improve. So we've had that push up and we've basically recovered it all. So hopefully we may continue on our journey upwards. So I'll take that away in a sec. So things are starting to sound a bit positive now, aren't they? So I'm just wondering. Be nice to see what Mac's interpretation of this is. The reason I'm putting that there is because let me just take this down a minute. Does that look any better? Touch, 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 touch. Let's get rid of this. Push up, come back, bullish bar. If we can get a higher low, I kind of like that. It may probably be something bigger, but we've touched here, touched here, touched here. Got a channel down there, little break, new low. We've basically pushed up, come back. So I think it's. I was hoping we get a bit of a higher low there. Okay. A bit of caution here. Let's have a look. Yeah, there was the possibility there was a bit of an overshoot there. So I'm just being a bit careful here because we could have a leg down and a leg down. I'd like to see a higher low here, really. Okay, try to go once. Try to get a failed second entry long to trigger. And then stop out. Right, I think this is going to break now. Yeah, let me just put that back to where it was. Where do we have it? It was there, wasn't it? Oh no, tell a lie. Let's just... We've got it here. Was there an overshoot? Not really. Leg. Okay, that might not be too bad, actually. Touch, hold. Come on, push up. Close enough, but can't take it. Leg. High or low. So try go once, try go once, try go twice. Possible failed second entry long. There still may be a slight overshoot there. I'm not massively convinced. Try go once, try go twice. I'd like to see the failed second entry long trigger. And then hopefully push up. Okay. Go once, so there's a failed second entry long. Let's see that trigger and hold. Leg. Right, try go once, try go twice. Failure. Let's see if that triggers. Now push up like a rocket. Which is not going to do, is it? Yeah, I mean, there's a possible trade there. I just can't go short there. I'm not massively convinced that's an overshoot. It might be. Okay, that's a good start. That's all I'm prepared to do. Okay, yeah, something's not right here. Be careful going along here. Let's put that back there. Touch in there, a little bit of a... yeah, my slight concern is though we're touching here. Touching there, nice, touching there. That could be a bit of an overshoot, in which case it might trap some longs and come down. If you took that long, there's two legs, triggered, you came that down. So I'm just going to have to sit tight here. That can go now. Okay, so the news is all done and dusted, so... yeah, this is coming down, I think. I think that's more than worked, isn't it? Oh no. See, sometimes an overshoot can just give you the same the other side and then it'll continue on. I'm not saying it's going to, but... see, there's always the possibility later on in the day that there may be a two-tiered channel. It's possible. But I'm going to put that back and then maybe just draw maybe something like that. No, forget it. Yeah, in all fairness, I'm still not a massive fan. Yeah, good on you, Speedy. Yeah, at some point, I think you have to change something, don't you? And there's one thing. Well, there's two things that that I've had said to me a bunch of times, and I've read, in all fairness, that newer, less experienced traders always trade too much. And if you think about it, now we're on one contract. On average, we're risking about 5%. Before that, two contracts were risking 10%. And that's a lot of your pot, isn't it? Professional traders wouldn't risk nowhere near that. When I first started, I heard 1 to 3%. So when I started with crypto, my thought was, let's go in the middle at 2%. So we're risking 5 times that. Trouble is, you lose 3 trades, you lose 2 trades, slightly bigger, you could lose 25% of your pot. It's very hard to recover from that, because the third trade, you're really trying to play catch up, and as an inexperienced trader, you're not going to be strong enough with those emotions. And if you do lose a third one, as far as I'm concerned, and I've had it myself, you're on a downward spiral. You're talking you've lost over a third of it, and it's very hard to come back from that. So if you can not get yourself into that position in the first place, and the only way to really do it is to have the correct risk management, and it's the one thing, sort of inexperienced traders like myself seems to just, not pick up. But I think, when you've lost account after account after account after account, and you seem to do well, take your time, build an account, and then you lose it, and then you go for a period of weeks or a month or so of fighting the market, throwing money at it, try and get lucky, and at some point you just sit back and think, right, it's not working, and you just start to change. And I think that's when you start to realise that, okay, now I'm doing this, I've reduced my risk, so what have I noticed? The stress is less, and I'm making more sensible, not just sensible trades, but I'm making sensible decisions when I may have had a losing day. Because it would have been really hard for me to ever walk away from a losing day. But, I seem to be able to do it. I've had 2 losing days since I started this in sort of 13. And I've managed to stay away, because I realise in the end it just doesn't work. But you try getting that, through your head when you're in the middle of all that bad stuff. It's so hard. And obviously that's why it's such a big sort of talked about subject, the psychological side of trading, because it is so difficult, and it does, it really consumes you. And that's why it's sort of, such a big subject. Okay, so yeah, I think we've got to say that that's a bit of an overshoot, whether it is or not. But what happens here would make sense. So it could come down now, or it might. It depends. If it's a really bullish day, that sometimes it'll have a little spike out the side there, and we'll have something similar here, and then it will carry on its merry way. So it could do a bunch of stuff here, but does look like it's bottoming, which is a good sign. 1, 2, 3, possibly a triple test. Now, I talked about this yesterday or the day before. When we have a channel down here, I never take that first push up thinking we're going to push up, because I like it to give it a chance to break and make a new low. I've done that before, concentrated on thinking about that, and I don't even think about this channel. Perfect measured moves, yeah, it's sitting on there, but I'd still like to give it a chance to break and then come down and make a new extreme, because it does that a lot. And sometimes when it starts to push up, you think, yeah, here we go, and you're jumping on along, and it triggers you, and then comes down and makes a new extreme from this channel. So I never get involved in this first bit unless we can push up, trap some shorts, and then push higher, in which case I will. But it's definitely sitting right on that measured move. So it could do one or two things. If it breaks through it, it'll do it quite strongly, I think, and then we may continue down. But obviously, as we know, with an overshoot, it can result in a reversal. So same as yesterday, I'd be looking for a leg and a leg. We had a perfect one, so we've got a leg down there. I'll be looking for something like that again. And then something like that. And the higher low. And then up again. That was where that higher low was yesterday. We pushed up in that first leg, had one leg, two legs back, and then we pushed above the EMA like we had a nice big bullish bar there. That's the type of trade I love taking after these, because they're so damn good. Every time I see one of those, it just makes headway. And if you're getting anywhere near this, even if you can get 10 points out of it and get halfway, you know, but I think if you can get one of them every couple of weeks and capitalise them, you'll really help yourself. But typical, the one day we've seen something that perfect was the one day flipping Rhythmic decided it. Does make you wonder, doesn't it? You know, did Apex, I mean, it's me being paranoid now. Was Apex think, ooh, it's going to be a really strong day today. People are going to make a lot of money. Let's mess up Rhythmic. Okay, so little channel down. Let's see if we get a break here. I just like to give it a chance to come down and make a new extreme. It's really holding on that line, isn't it? We could be ranging, yeah, we could be, mate. It's a bit unclear at the moment, isn't it? I'm just trying to think, is there going to be any stops here? If there had been any stops here, that would have probably broken. Let me have a look. Anything here? Wish I'd taken that now. Sometimes these trades move before you really think when you're making your mind up. It could come down. What I'd like to do is have that leg and then a push up another leg. It might have come too far for that. I had a feeling once we get below this, it might push down a bit more. We could think of a break of that, possibly. Okay, if you forget this, probably leg and a leg. You just got to let this sort itself out, really, haven't you? But I'm hoping we get a push up and then maybe another one. Which really, leg break leg is just sort of two legs on a bigger chart, isn't it? Really. I don't think. Yeah, see, there is always that possibility. I mean, really, if you think about it, there could be a spike, and look at that. I am aware of them. Sometimes they're right. If you look at that little spike, so we touched here, touched here, touched here. See how we touched there perfectly? And the top's fitting perfectly. Look at that. Is that random? I'm not so sure. I'd like to, now we've had this, I'd like to give it a chance to come down, but there could be a two-tier channel there, and let's face it, little spike and that, there's no reason why it couldn't work. I mean, someone's thought it is. And that would make sense, because just nothing felt right to me, really, but okay, so we've had a channel down and we've had a break. Let's see if we come down and make a new extreme. What I'd like to do is trap some shorts here and push up, in which case, leg up, two legs of correction. We could get another good push up here, so we'll have to just give this a minute and let it sort itself out. Because, let me just see if there's two separate legs there. It's gone beyond that, isn't it, now? So I like to give this a chance to break the new lows, because I'm still not 100% about this, but what I will say is it looks pretty nice. See, it could be just that and a break. In fact, the way that's going up, I can't see that coming down and making it a little low from here. Something like that. It's just a leg and a break. In fact, it doesn't really matter how you draw that if you draw it like that. As far as I'm concerned, I think that's a bit of a break and a new low. It's reacted to that, isn't it? So I kind of like that. In fact, what you could say, if that comes down to there and that pushes up a bit and we adjust the top, and that does fit well. So touch, 1, 2. I mean, it's fitting perfectly there now, isn't it? And look how nice that is fitted in that top tier. So whether it is a bit of a spike in a channel or this, I don't think it really matters too much. We more or less get the same outcome. But Mac will usually connect these, which made me think maybe it is a bit of a spike in a channel. At the end of the day, I think we get the same outcome. We've bounced here, haven't we? So maybe a leg, a little bit of sideways and a leg. See if we can get a pull back and then start to work again. So maybe this is a leg, a couple of legs of correction, leg. In fact, that must be... it's not working there, is it? I don't think it matters. It's a couple of legs in a fashion, isn't it? Or leg, break. See what happens here now. But I don't think we can argue. We've got a bullish day at the moment, so we've had a looks like a leg and a leg. So if we come back here, bounce here, maybe confirm this channel and just continue on up, then I think we got a chance of finding something, hopefully. Okay, that's going to be our first entry. I'd like to go like that into here, like a little trigger above there. Okay, now come back here. Okay, leg and a leg. Now, it's always possible this could be one leg with a correction and another leg. A leg and a leg. It's quite a big one, so we'll see. See what happens when it hits this line. Leg, leg. I always like to take the higher low, give it a chance to trigger the failure. So try and go once. If it breaks above this, possible failure, I'd like to see it trigger and then push higher into a high low. Takes away the chance of you getting trapped. Okay, second entry long. I'd like to see that trigger without me in it. Try once, try twice. Now, if we can get a higher low here, that would interest me. I'll go once, try twice. Let's see if this triggers. That's why I left that one. I never take that first one. Try it once, try it twice. Could be a leg and a leg. So it may break out of here. Leg, leg. Let's just put this like this a minute. There is that possibility that it may do something like it did yesterday. So that's a possibility. Working down here like this. Leg, a leg. And then pushing up again. That's quite a big drop for a leg. Yeah, that's why I never take that first one. You just never know. You might have got out of that for something. Let me have a look. So you'd have got a 1.25, I'd have said. Maybe. Yeah, 1.25. It is a second entry long, but it's just with this, like this, and then that. It's just got risk written all over that. EMA's flat. It's under the EMA as well. So possible leg, leg, and maybe some more. Excuse me just for 1 minute. I'm just going to take a quick bathroom break. Okay. See, there is a possibility that leg could be drawn from there. No, maybe not. So there is a possibility that it could have just been something like this, and it's at a break. I don't think it is. Interesting to see what Mac's take is on this channel. He's got it. Nah, a bit too late, a bit too early for Mac, I think. Leg. I'd still like to see this measured leg, the way it's holding under there. It's leg. It is possible, but yeah, there is a leg and a leg. Trouble is, it's not made. I like it to make a measured leg really before I think it's that type of a trade when it goes further up. So maybe this is just coming down there and it's going to push further and create a leg. That leg's done it in with a couple of breaks, isn't it? Down, up, down in that leg. So could get the same here. See what happens here. I'd prefer to get down here really before I think about it as two legs to go higher. Because it could trap you going along and then come down. I believe the overnight high is between price and the DMM. What's the DMM? Something measured move. Down measured move. So we're see, obviously overnight highs is more relevant for you guys because this is the middle of the day for us. Us in the UK. So do you have a certain time that you aim to, maybe say 1 o'clock UK time, somewhere around here, So maybe this is the, let's have a look. It's still support. Are you on about around about here somewhere? I would have said probably, yeah, or just somewhere. It's hard to say, isn't it, really? There's no specific, obviously it's a lot easier down here, isn't it? Overnight high is 43.60. Okay, so where that is, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. I said around about here somewhere. That makes sense because it's bounced there and it's used it as a bit of resistance, a bit of support, a bit of support. So that's what I mean. I'd like this to come down and hit this measured leg. And if it has a leg and hits the measured leg, then it'll hit that overnight highs. So let's remove that now. So we know the overnight highs are there. So that'd be a nice leg down, bounce off the overnight highs and then push up. My only slight concern is going long into this possible downtrend. Now, when I say possible, it's possible, but see, normally after those two legs down, I look for a higher low there, but I don't think I can take a higher low in a downtrend. Yeah, it's just a tricky one here, isn't it? Unfortunately, because we've had a touch here. It might. Normally it's 3 times, isn't it? But we've had a touch here, and 2 at the bottom. So I think it's quite feasible. So if we took a higher low here, thinking we've had 2 legs down after this, it could trigger you and then not be very nice. So that's the trouble, really. You can't help but look at that, can you? So whether it is or not. Well, in all fairness, let's take it away, see if it looks okay without it. So we've come down here, we've had a break and a new low, we've pushed up, and we've had a drop out of it. So if you take away that, change your background chart colours to change when it closes and opens US hours. You're on about how they have it dark and light, like Mac. I had it like that for a while, but I just thought I don't know, it was more sort of gimmicky than what's it. And sometimes having the 2 different lines, sort of the mix, Mark does it. Yeah, I know most people do it. But they do it when the market opens, don't they? So the market opens here. And if that's overnight highs, see, thing is, if you where's the line down? If you've got so at the moment it opens 1:30 UK time, which is there, yeah. But you don't class that as overnight highs, do you? You're saying that is. So even if it opened here, is that how you class its support resistance for the whole day? Yeah, so that's what I mean. Someone mentioned it was 36 this here, but that's where the market opened. Oh, in fact, where the market opened is on there, isn't it? That's where the market opened. It's in line with that. Is that what you mean? So, yeah, perhaps I should. So that's where you class your overnight highs when the market officially opens, is it? The high before it opens. Oh, is that how it is? Okay. So would you go with the top of the wick or where the bar closes? So where that bar closes, let's put that there. And let's open up this then. So I'll put this on the open. So the open is there. So if you move that up, you use the body, okay. The high. So if you use the high, it's right at the top of, well, that kind of works all right, doesn't it? So if you imagine that would be the line where it would open and you would class that as your highs, then you just have to be kind of close. Yeah, I don't think there's no, that's exactly where it is, but yeah, sort of here. But in fact, in all fairness, I've got that measured leg down, but that's actually reacting more to the overnight highs, isn't it? Okay, I'll sort that out tomorrow, actually. It's the green, yeah, so the top of the green bar then, yeah? Okay, so the top of the green bar, which is there, isn't it? So, where was it? There, yeah, which is actually the high there, isn't it? So, in fact, it's actually one tick off there and pushing up, so yeah. Okay, so, yeah, so you do it right at the, basically the high part of the bar. Okay, yeah. I have had it a couple of times, but I don't know whether he used it as a bit of a gimmick to say that's where the market opens, but I know where the market opens anyway, you know, so it's at the bottom of your measured move. Yeah. It's just below there, isn't it, I think? No, just above it, sorry. So if we have it here, on top of that bar, that's literally reacted to it, isn't it? Not necessarily the measured moves. See, the measured moves, sometimes they're accurate, sometimes they're not, but that's more accurate on the overnight highs, isn't it? Okay, so let's put that there. Let's load that. We got overnight highs here, overnight somewhere. Where have I? Overnight highs and lows, yeah, okay. Okay, there we go. Green bar. So you're on about that green bar there, yeah? That green bar there, which is exactly at 1:30 when the market opens. So that green bar there, yeah? And funnily enough, if you can see it touching there, a couple of places there. Funnily enough, here, no. So you said at the bottom of the measured move, if that's where the open is, would you not class that as the overnight highs? Left big bar. Left big green bar. There. Still bullish, yeah. So it's about right, isn't it? Would you say? 1246. Spot on. 1246 would be here. See, I thought it was when the market officially opens. Yeah. Okay. See, the way that's... Yeah, see, that line, that mark there is exactly 1:30 when the market opens. 1:30 UK time, when the market opens. Not matter, yeah. So I think that's okay. And the fact that it's moved like that. So, okay, so we're in a channel here. We've had a break out of it. We've had 2 attempts to go lower. So that might be a good place to go long. Let's have a look. See if we can get something up here. So it's close enough to a leg and a leg, isn't it? So what we're looking for is a higher low here, really. Because, mind you, is that... yeah, that's what concerns me. Ooh, it's at the high between midnight and the open. Got rejected on the EMA at 10,000 tick chart. Yeah, that's what's concerning me. It's the high between midnight and the open. Okay, does not have to be near the open. Yeah, that's the trouble when you're getting different opinions. It's just, I'll tell you what, I know Watts uses it. He marks it up every day. I'll have a look at what the Penguin does later. He'll mark it up, doesn't he? That's part of his thing he does so I'll find out what he's done. Starts at regular market close. Yeah, okay. I'll have a look at the Penguin guys, see what he's put. Okay, so I'm just wondering whether this is starting to move down. We'll see in a minute. If it traps a few shorts and rockets up, then maybe. I can't remember what the setup is to get this in. I'll have to look later. Which one is it? Is it the... it's number 1, isn't it? The Mac number 1. I'll have a look at it later. It's BP Mac Part 2. It's BP Mac Part 1, isn't it, I think? That gives you the sort of two-tone where the open is. As I say, I did have it on my chart for a while, but then it's there, I think. But then I thought it doesn't really. Yeah, that's it, zone 1. I couldn't remember what all the times was. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I'll have to go into that. It's been a while. It's probably been a year since I've had it on there. I can't remember. You have to set the background. Yeah. Does it matter? It matters what. What have you got this on? What? If you have, mate, do us a favour later. Just take a snapshot of this on your phone and message it to us. Just what your settings are. I don't know whether your settings are different to mine because different time zones. But the open's the same for all of us, isn't it? Yeah, later on. But if you remember, if you've got this, just take a snap with your phone with the settings and I'll plug it into mine and have a play around with it, yeah? Cheers, buddy. Okay, I'll have a go. Yeah, we'll do it the open. Okay, so... see, my only slight concern is after 2 legs or close enough, whether it's bounced off the open or close to it, as it breaks out of here, if we're on about possibly going long, it could be just a break out of this channel and come down. So we're going to have to avoid it, really, aren't we? What I will say is it's touching the bottom here, but it's not here. It's bottoming, isn't it? But the trouble is it could be a trap. That's my slight concern. Just wondering whether there's a bit of a range going there as well. That's the problem, really. If it breaks here, is it going to come down and make a new extreme, or is it going to push up as in 2 legs? I think... Thanks, mate. The trouble is, what do? Breaks up here, you might go long, and it may trigger you and then come down, so we could just have a couple of legs up and then back down here and retest this bottom. Let's see if it does get above there. But it is a leg up. There is more or less 2 legs back. Yeah. My option, we go for Stop Hunter for either direction break. Yeah. And not only that, I think it's possible there's a bit of a range as well, so there's probably mixed feelings here. Are we in the channel coming down, or are we, after this push up 2 legs, are we going to continue higher? So I think we're just going to have to sit tight a bit here, aren't we? That's better. There's 4 touches there. Yeah, I think it's fair to say that's quite likely a little range, isn't it? Trouble is, if you go long up here, it could snap back into this a lot of times. Having said that, this was the low, wasn't it? So the trouble is, when you get mixed signals, I don't know what to do, really. The only thing you can do is just let's sit tight and let it sort itself out. Touch. I mean, after 2 legs of correction, after this big push up, I think it's likely that could go higher, but it is a little bit of a range, so it could snap back. Okay, so there's a second entry short there. Let's see if that triggers. Triggers short. If that triggers short and pushes up, then I'd say we might be moving up. Trouble is, it could still push up and snap back. So I suppose when you've got mixed feelings, it's probably safe to just do nothing, really, isn't it? Because what I will say is we've come off these highs of this down channel. We've only come down sort of like 2/3 from the top to the bottom, so I think that's a good indication it's turned there. I think that's a good indication that we are going higher. But you just don't know whether that's just a leg and a break out of this down channel and it's going to come back into this. We'll soon see if it triggers it. I'd like to see it trigger because it is a second entry. Well, with the exception of that, it's a visual second entry short. If that triggers and turns, then I'd say we're more likely going to get above it all. So it's come down there and done something interesting, isn't it? It's hit that EMA and right on top of that channel where we got that fitting from there to there. So that's interesting. So if we're going sideways, some may have took that short. In my opinion, I think it's a bit risky because we could be doing this, but there are mixed signals really. But what I will say, we've come from here, and we've come to here. So I think we're just, I think it's more likely we're moving up, but I wouldn't put money on it, put it that way. Because it could trigger you and then give you a lower high and then come back from this channel and make a new extreme. You're short here, are you? On that bar there, I'm not comfortable with that because what I will say, we're here, and we're here. So for me, these bottoms are moving up. So I think that's risky. I hope it comes down for you though. That's the trouble with this. See, sometimes it'll go short from this channel. You just don't know. But the bits after this, we're bullish, I think. After these two pushes down, we've come off this low. We're going up there. We're touching 3 or 4 times there, aren't we? And look where that's come and turned. Now, it may just be trapping some bowls and it may come rocking down, but I'm not so convinced. But I'm not trading either way because 1 minute looking rangy, next minute there's the downwards channel, there's a possible upwards channel. So I've got mixed feelings here. So it could do either one or 3 things. Okay, so see, the range is looking nice at the tops in here, but that's the bit that throws me. Why didn't it come down the bottom and it's popped back up the top, which tells me maybe it is trying to push up. But that's what I mean. You may get some traders going along there, see, thinking we're pushing up. But that's why I don't like to get in a trade, because it's always possible we could have a break, trap some longs and come down and stop them all out. And I've done that before. You get a big push up like that, 2 legs of correction, you think, got to go long, and all of a sudden it traps you going long. And that, although it's not the most bullish bar, as that's pushing up, you don't know whether people are going to buy there, do you? Because up here, we're pushing up. But the reason I leave this now is because I've been trapped so many times. There's a channel coming out and I've gone long as we start to push up, thinking, new extreme from this. And then it comes down. Order fill, good on you, mate. That's what I mean. It could do either or here. It could do a bunch of stuff. Let's see how far this gets down. It could come down and break this, in which case channel down, 3 touches, 1, 2, 3, break, new extreme. It's looking like it's trying to. You're exactly right about the range. Wait for the breakout. Yeah, you just don't know, do you? See, after this big push up and a leg, you're thinking long, aren't you? And I'm thinking the bigger picture is probably long, but that's the trouble sometimes. And I like the fact I understand what's going on here, and I understand it enough to keep out. And that just comes with experience. But so many times I've been stuck there And there's nothing worse than getting trapped and trapped. It's frustrating. But to be honest with you, me getting trapped now doesn't happen that much. So I kind of like that. And that's you know, that's about that just pure screen time, isn't it? The more you see these things happening, the more you get, you know, because sometimes you lose, you get, excuse me, you lose, you get stuck in a train, you get trapped, you get frustrated to hell. But what's really happening is you're having a really useful lesson, but at the time, you just sort of don't see it, do you? But yeah, see, there's this mixed signals there, isn't there? We came down at the bottom, and then we closed so far up. And then when this came down and that turns, straight away you're thinking long. After 2 legs down, big leg up. But I just stay out of it now because you've got to give it chance to break, come down and make a new extreme, which it's done now. That's what I mean. It's so tempting to get in there maybe, or in there, and then all of a sudden down it comes. So that's done its job now. So let's see what happens now. And look where we've hit that measured move, funnily enough. That's really interesting. Right to the nearest tick. That can't be random, can it? You got a runner. Good on you, Clay. Yeah, see, it sounds like you're one step ahead of all of us. We're seeing this picture, you're seeing sod the bigger picture. Let's just take what I'm seeing now, and that might rightly be so. Now you've got a big bullish bar there, so God, that's tempting, isn't it? Big bullish bar. We come down there, smack that measured move, sat right on the overnight highs. That's tempting to go long, isn't it? Trouble is, just at the moment, we're coming down, but I don't think that's a bad call in all fairness. I'm sitting out of it because it's quite a big bar. 13 ticks, tick above, tick below. Wait for the heart, yeah. So that's played out for the channel, so that's good. Now we've pushed up to there, so let's see what's going on now. In fact, I'm going to get rid of that just for a minute because I think it's going to come from this side now, isn't it, if it does push up. So, channel down, break, new low, that's played out. Now that is reacted to that measured leg, which tells me, I'm hoping, we're going to get. The trouble is, as we get up now, and we break above here, do we take a long? Because now we've got a possible range here. So, well, we have got a range. So we're in another pickle, really, aren't we? We've given that chance to break and come down, but now that channel's played out, we're now in the range. So do we go long above the range? So market's been bloody awkward today. So Mac does say the market's got multiple personalities, and its personality today is in a right awkward bloody mood, in my opinion. So, touch. So I'm pretty happy that that's a channel. Whether it's just a 2 legs round in a channel, but the way we've had a break and we've come down, make a new low, that would usually play a channel out. So we have a measured move in place. So I think that you think down, do you? I'm thinking up at the moment, so I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Let's just get rid of that because we know we've had a... So this just looks like a couple of legs down and maybe a bit sideways, so I still think we're going higher. But I hope I'm wrong. We've had a break out the bottom here, so we could get the same out the top. That often happens, as we know, so it'd be interesting to see if that possible failed second entry short triggers. If it does, I'm expecting it to get to the top. If it breaks out, then I'm thinking long then. We have the measure move play. Yeah, I think you're right, mate. I misread that. Yeah, don't have too much confidence in me just yet. Still haven't retested the main bull channel yet. No, we haven't, have we? Trouble is there something from here? That's a channel there, isn't it? So, yeah, we haven't anyway, have we? So, I was kind of hoping that one would trigger. If that one triggered, it probably wouldn't be a bad along there. But we've had a breakout this bottom. Yeah, we're definitely ranging at the moment, aren't we? We've had a breakout the bottom, so I expect it's likely to get one out the top. Leg and a leg. But then do you go short? I'd certainly rather go long than short. In fact, I don't think that was a bad trade there. Leg, because we broke out the bottom here. We hit that right to the nearest tick, that measured leg. and we sat on the overnight high. So I think that was probably a good trade. But it was 13 ticks, so a tick above, tick below. 14, 15. It was 3.75 points, a little bit more than I want to take. And as you know, I'm not a massive fan of picking bottoms and tops. But on that occasion, I don't think it was a bad call. I felt a break at the bottom, could send it high, yeah. See, a lot of the times when we get a breakout, we sometimes get one the other side. So it'd be interesting to see if we do and it comes back in or it bounces and pushes up. But I'm hoping now we've had those 2 legs of correction that we do push up. It wasn't as clear cut. It was a lot simpler yesterday, unfortunately. Yeah, so we got that lovely leg up there, 2 legs of correction, and that high low there. Matt marked it as well, but I think that was an absolute perler. I'd have held that at least to the top, and when it got to the top, I'd have put my stop below there, so I'd have guaranteed myself 5 or 6 points anyway. But as that went like that, it's a real shame, innit? You get a day like that. That was really obvious. Lovely leg, 2 legs of correction, and up again. Unfortunately, flipping rhythmic again. Okay, so we've got a break out of here. I thought we might. So what I'd like to see now is this not to come back in, but I'd like to see it push up a bit more, then come back and have 2 legs down and retest the top of this, and then hopefully we get a push up. So we got a touch here, we got a touch here. So we push up, go a bit sideways, and then push up again. So I'm happy that that's a little range there, little channel. So I'd like to see a bearish bar that triggers. I love taking those fell breakouts in the direction of the bias. Yeah, so did you take that, Kev? I think that's actually a good trade, in all fairness. Because the bias, I think, is definitely up, isn't it? A couple of corrections. And yeah, I ummed and ahed about that. Perhaps I should have grown some balls and taken it. I was a bit cowardish at the time, I think. So, okay, so if we are pushing up now in something like this, we're going to have a break and a couple of legs to get a wider channel, really, aren't we? I didn't know. I turned off my... Ah, did you really? I got you. To avoid destroying my friend. You coward. Yeah, definitely up. Can't miss that. Yeah, it's looking like it. So I'd like to see it test this, or maybe come down into here, because we're going to have a wider channel if we're going to get something like this, aren't we? So maybe, I don't know, something like that. Something like that. It'd be nice to come down, maybe touch the midline. You got 2 points. Good on you, mate. Good on you. Oh, yeah, of course you have. Yeah, of course you did. It's got to come back here, really, for me, the midline, I think. Initially in this, and then maybe a break, and then a bigger channel, I would have thought. I'd like to see it come down and maybe touch this, the midline. I do love all this sort of working out what it's likely to do, because it gives you signal after signal, doesn't it? But the more you do it, the more it is really like, well, we're studying human behaviour, aren't we? So we're sort of studying what people are thinking right now, and it's quite fun, actually. I like the challenge, working out what people are doing, and when you get it right, it makes you feel good, doesn't it? Leg, get something down, something like this, I think. Maybe a bit more steep. And the reason I like that is because it's working nice there. So leg, down to about here, maybe sat on here, and then a push up. Or even a bit of sideways, I don't mind, as long as it gets around this area here. Okay, so that's good. So there's the first entry. Now let's get over here. So we're traders and human psychologists, aren't we? Is that what you put it down as? Human behaviour studyists. I don't know. I think that's a made-up word, isn't it? Okay, leg. So far, so good. Now I'd like another bar or two around about here. And then a push-up and a higher low on top of here. That'd be nice. It could be a bit steeper, that channel, so I'm okay with moving it. You've just got to be careful. It's not a higher low and you're not getting trapped in the failure, which is why I really want to go for the failure. Ooh, it's too close to the highs for my liking. Yeah, you haven't got no room, have you, really? Leg. Okay, so it might be going sideways. That's okay. That's even better if it does. Sideways to here. Wherever it finishes in, we get a nice big bullish bar. Ideally, in that cross section, somewhere around here would be perfect. Hopefully the email meets it. It might be like the perfect storm, but what I'm seeing here is we're pushing up in a channel. We've had a bit of a break. We're going sideways, and we'll do that all the time, don't we? Push up, go sideways. Push up, go sideways, and then we go up again. So this is doing... Oh, don't do that. Unfortunately, there's not enough room to the highs, really, for me to take that. There's a half a point. That's possible, isn't it? Actually, that's a second entry long. Trouble is, you got no room of you, and you just don't know yet, do you? Let's put that back a bit to there. I might be wrong. Since we bounced off the overnight high, we can expect 2 legs up to reach a new high. Yeah, so we got up here, haven't we? So it's just catching it at the right time here that it doesn't stuff you. I like the way it's going sideways. I like the way we've come out and we've pulled back in, so that's okay for me. So ideally, you want something here and then a nice higher low to at least get another leg. Another leg will do for starters. So maybe something like that, which will take us up close to those highs. But it's just catching it at the right time, isn't it? We're definitely going sideways, and I think the fact that it's pushed above this and it's holding on top's a good sign. 2 legs have played out. We've gone sideways. We've had a breakout. Often when you get a breakout like that, that causes it, but it's just catching it at the right time, because if you get in too early, it could drop, stop you out, and then push up. So I'm going to open that a bit to there. That's fine. So it's definitely going sideways. We see this all the time. Leg up, sideways, leg up. It's just catching the right time. And hopefully it doesn't. I can drop that down to there, maybe. Don't do that. Don't do that. Maybe trap some shorts and then off we go. That channel could be wider. Up, sideways go. Let's see how this forms. If it turns into a real nice bullish bar, then which is looking like it may. Touch, 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 touch. Go on, get up. Don't come down because you've screwed all our plans. They are listening to Lance. They might be hearing me, but they're not bloody listening to me. Don't come down. Okay, so... See, it may... I don't know what's going on. I can only adjust this so much. Probably not, no. What's going on? I don't know. It's just knackered me plans, this has. This is not what I wanted. It might hold yet. In fact, what I did say a minute ago, if you remember, it'd be nice to come down and bounce off this midline, so maybe that's what it's doing. In all fairness, if we're going to have a push-up for another leg, we want something a bit wider than that, don't we? So this is maybe not that bad, actually. If it holds here, it'd be nice to get a push-up and then maybe a higher low here, so it may be okay. So far so good. It works out okay. You want a bit of a wider channel, really, don't you? The wider the channel, really, the further it can go without having to break. If it's too steep, you know, it just won't go that far, really. Don't come down again. Oh, you are kidding me. Oh, that's definitely knackered it. I don't know how much wider I can draw this. If we get any longer, it's going to meet with the next line, isn't it? Let's remove it for a minute. Let's see what happens. So we've had a break out the bottom, break out the top, and it's come in. As long as it doesn't come down the bottom. See, there is always I mean, we've had a push down in a break. There's always the possibility that it just might not go up. We haven't had another leg from yesterday, have we? What's gone on yesterday? Well, see, Mac never talks about these, but sometimes we've got a touch here, touch here. Sometimes you can't deny them, can you? Okay, let's just get rid of that, the bigger one, and draw one from here. Oh, I can't see that working myself. We'll put it this way, we need to get out here and then retest this top again, don't we? Use it as support. And if we can do that, then we're going to have a chance. It's definitely not being very cooperative, is it? Excuse me. So I like that as a... Yeah, the reason I like that is because we had a strong push-up and then we're working in this tier, aren't we? So it'd be nice to see what Mac's got for us. If anyone sees Mac's chart open, then give us a shout. It's a bit early. He usually trades for about an hour, doesn't he? But I'd be interested to see what his take is on this. Okay, let's see if we haven't come down to the bottom there again, so maybe it is just a wider channel. It's possible, isn't it? But it'd be a bit presumptuous to put it there too soon, really. We'll want to get up here and maybe retest this. So I definitely think it's important that measure move is played out really nice. And we've bounced off it and we literally touched it and pushed up strong, didn't we? And we're also sat the body right on the overnight highs. That's got to say something, isn't it? That should be speaking volumes, that really. So it's a leg up. So, I don't know, I'm just trying to think, maybe let's think like the penguin. What would he say? We've had a leg up, made one attempt to go lower, a second attempt to go lower, and then off we go. So, it's still possible. High or low there? For me, we've got to get up here really and bounce here. You just don't know, see. I'd love to get a professional inside view on how these algorithms work, because from what little I know about them, they look for weak entry points and weed out weak entry points. But I don't know. It'd be nice to. I might have a browse around YouTube, see if there's anything that talks about them really, because I know the trouble is when you're like us, you're a retail trader, you've just learnt on the sidelines, haven't you? Whereas, if you work for a investment bank or something like that, you're sort of taught the proper way, the way they do it, and you're given all the aren't you, all the right information. But seems like it could just range. Yeah, it's hard to say really. Maybe we have a leg up and then a couple of legs, couple of more of attempts to go lower. But I think it's more likely we're going to break out to the top. We've had a chance to go down there and it turned, didn't it? I think the fact that measured legs played out and the overnight highs are there, I think that's an important milestone really. Leg. I think we're going up, but obviously until it gets out of here again, there's nothing you can do really. I mean, all these opinions are just sort of an educated guess really, but not fact. We still need evidence really, don't we? You can only really trade what you see. Obviously, experience tells us which way we're likely to go, but ultimately you've still got to have the setup to make the right decision. Oh, sorry about that. My chair's creaking there. So, yeah, my thoughts are we've had a breakout of this new high. We've got one leg back, two legs back, and then a push up. If we can get something strong, excuse me, going along, because there may be some shorts in there. And if we can get a strong push above there, we may take out some. I think it's likely we're going to get some shorts there. Some short stops there, rather. Did anybody that got affected yesterday got their money back? Their accounts reset, have they? Hopefully you weren't waiting too long. I mean, I did consider carrying on. I mean, you had to promise your accounts reset, but the trouble is, if it had have happened to literally thousands of people, it could have taken you 2 or 3 days to get your account set, which means I wouldn't have been able to trade today. Okay, that's a nice sign for me. If we can break bullish there, I got a loss recovered. Good on you, mate. Was it a loss you lost, or yeah? Because sometimes if you've lost and something went wrong, they reset it and you get a bit better news. But I was able to flatten my accounts for 0 losses. Good on you, mate. Yeah, I bet some people will have probably made a bit out of it, but if you'd have maybe a bit up and then something had gone wrong and they reset, I don't know whether they'd reset it to the day before, and if you were up, you may have been at the wrong end of it, but ultimately they got to give you what you had, at your highest, haven't they, really? I wish they'd sort something out with Rhythmic, get rid of it or try something else, because it's just becoming a bit of a ball ache. Not only is it a ball ache for us, it must be a nightmare for them as well, because they're obviously employing staff to sort these problems out, so they don't want the problems. So we need to it's looking positive. So from a penguin point of view, we had a channel up break, new high, made one attempt to go lower, a second attempt to go lower and get up. The only trouble is, because we're in a range, really, we need to get above this. There's a possibility of that. I'm not a massive fan of it. So leg up, 2 legs of correction, a little bit of sideways, drop out the bottom, and then eventually up we go. I think that's likely. Trouble is, sometimes I wonder whether putting this here maybe sort of affects the way I'm. I think it's safe to stay out for now. Yeah, we got something from Mac. Excellent. Excuse me. Be interested to see what his take is on this. He's got on another one of his freaky channels again. What is he doing? Let's have a look. Trouble is, he had this the other day, and no one else had it like it. That's why I think it's weird. Mac's got his going from when it's spiked up. Is it from there or there? It's there. He's got his going from like that. That's odd, isn't it? Yeah, Max finished here before that. We've had this pull out. I mean, even if we are going, it's such an odd channel, isn't it? I don't know. He does some odd channels. I mean, yeah, it's touching, but nothing else looks right, does it? The other day he had this, but then I was looking at people like Marco and that, and they didn't. So, I just wonder whether he's finally cracked, lost his marbles. I don't know what. But it's hard to say. After this, yeah, maybe. But now we've had this. So I've got mixed feelings there. I suppose you have to do what you feel right. It just doesn't work for me. And I know that might make me sound a bit ignorant. I don't know. I mean, ultimately, regardless of how we've done it, we've had a break, haven't we? So I think it's, even if you have it like this, we've had a break anyway, so I think it's partly irrelevant. But it just looks so odd. You know what I mean? But at the moment, it may look better, but trouble is, you still have to do what you feel's right. So it's a bit odd. I mean, don't get me wrong. Mac's the main man. I fully respect him. But regardless of how you've got it, we've had a break anyway, and it's going sideways. So this is just got to be careful now. You don't get trapped. So we've got a leg down. See, it could be a break, new high, leg down, made 1, 2 attempts on and come down. So it could be a bunch of stuff here, but I'd like to start to push higher a bit, retest this and push higher. I don't think this is a channel. It might be. But I think it's more sideways just at the moment. Because if you look on the 10,000 tick chart, that's exactly it is. It's sideways. But it looks a bit clearer here, doesn't it? We've had a quick spike with the news. Then we're working in this, clearly working in there, isn't it? Then we have a leg back and a leg back. And we've had a nice big bullish bar. And from then on, the bottoms seem to be going up. So we need a good push out here and a retest, really. But I'm still thinking bullish at the moment. it's kind of a nice solid bar there, but I don't like to take those because it is a bit congested and it could sting you. But there's been nothing definitive. I think if we get a definitive push-up or a really strong signal bar with a clearer picture, usually that's when traders jump in. But at the moment, everyone's sitting tight, aren't they? No one's really sure what's going on, hence the sideways stuff. But if we can get a good signal bar in the right direction, then that may encourage traders to get in there. We may get a movement. When we get a movement, then it's probably sorted then, isn't it? We know where we're going then. We've still got to work things out and decide where we're looking at. Are we looking to go long? Are we looking to go short? Or are we looking to just take no trades because we don't know what's going on? I'm sort of erring on the side of longs at the moment, but I'm not prepared to take anything, so I'm just sitting tight and watching. But from what I'm seeing, and obviously seen times before, it's more likely we're going to push up. But until it becomes a little bit more clear, traders are just staying out. This is starting to look a bit more positive, but we've got to start working, really, haven't we? And once we do start working and get above all this, then I think it's likely then we are going to maybe, entice more longs to get in, which should then start to move us a bit quicker. My only slight concern is, like I just mentioned, we're coming back and we're moving up slightly. We had the same with this. That started to look the same, and then all of a sudden it came down. So if you got in along there or maybe there, it turned, didn't it? So that, for me, really, it's looking like it's working, but it's got to get above here and come down and bounce, and then a higher low and moving up here away from all this, because there's probably going to be some stops there, thinking that they may have profits down the bottom and it didn't quite make it, maybe come back, but it's starting to look a bit more positive. We've pushed up, we have sat on top of there really, but I still want to come down and retest it before I go long, because sometimes it teases you into taking these trades and all of a sudden it just turns. And it is possible we could just have another new high to this range. So while we've got multiple possibilities, anything you can do is just sit and watch, really. Need to get above there, really. You went long on that bull bar, that one there. I think it's a good sign. If you look here from the bottom here, bull bar working up, and we're staying above this, so I think it's a good sign. There's always the possibility it could drop, but it's looking more and more positive. What I'd like it to do is break that high and then maybe have something retest this. But it's looking positive. I think if it breaks above there, then we may have a little bit of a pop. But it's looking positive, but it's not quite strongly moving up enough to get me in on it just yet. That actually might, in all fairness, I have a funny feeling we're going to end up here soon, and I'm going to look back on that and think, actually, it was a really good entry, because sometimes these entries don't look good until we get some price action, but that's the trouble, really. Hindsight's a wonderful thing, isn't it? But it's given all the right sign, all the right signals. Big bullish bar from a breakout there, nice bullish bar, and they're all sat on that line. So when price comes back to here, it pushes up strongly. It came back to here, it pushes up strongly. This is my concern, though, that we're maybe just having a new high to this section. But what I'm hoping is we go a bit sideways and maybe retest the tops here. Because I've just seen this before. You get in, and wham. But it's giving me all the right signals. Let's see what happens when it gets to this area again. So it needs to stop there. So the signals are good. That bear bar is discouraging. Yeah, sometimes when we've had a bear bar, though, in a lot of cases, it's the best time to go long, because how many times do we do that, you know? You get this big bear bar and you think, oh, bug, and then we get a bull bar, then we get a bear bar, then we get a bull bar. So sometimes when we've had these bear bars, it often just turns. But it's come down and touched that. We could always adjust that for a perfect touch, and it's pushed above it, and that's a good sign. So the signals are all there, aren't they? Every time we come back to this line, it's pushing up, so I think that's good. What we need to do is get above this, really. If we can get above this, I think we're golden then, but for me, the signals are looking good. We're working in this, but once we get above there and take out and some short stops, then I don't think shorts are going to get involved in that. That's good. We're above there now. So ideally, I want to come back here and then pick something moving up that way. I was expecting a bit more of a push than that there. Okay, there we go. So, I mean, we put our stop one tick above here, but some people give it a bit more room, don't they? Okay, so that's a good sign. Yeah, so I think you're golden there. Where'd you get in there? So you've done your points, haven't you? What did you get? I bet you were glad. It is horrible when it goes up and you get a big bar like you think, oh shit. It's a horrible feeling, isn't it? So you are, yeah, you'd have got, well, 4.3.5, 3 points. I'm assuming you're out, are you? But that's looking kind of positive, isn't it? But once we pushed up there, we came back there, hit that line again. Traders are getting there, and judging by that's pushed up, people started to buy there. So yeah, but it's clearly given us the right signals. The trouble is, sometimes when you've been burned by the market, you just get a bit suspicious of everything, really. So for me, you sort of... You hold in here till the high of the day. Good on you, mate. Balls of steel. Good on you. Yeah, I mean, I think I've just gone a bit, probably, you can get a bit paranoid, can't you? You go from being careless to being overcautious. You can see the round bottom, yeah. Yeah, I'd say, so you're here, aren't you? I'd say I'd like it to come back here and then push up, but the signals are all there, aren't they? In all fairness, that's probably the best bar I've seen. And I like the way we had that bear bar and then it triggered and pushed up. So that's probably the most solid looking bar there. After this, you don't know whether that's going to trigger and come down, but we've had 1, 2. That was the third touch, which confirmed we're working up in this area. We didn't get it with there. It was sort of in the middle, so I think that's a good sign. I'd like to see a little bit of a pullback here. And then another good push up. So once I think it's likely we could get a really good, another good move again, hopefully. Leg up, 2 legs of correction and another leg up. It wasn't as clean cut and as obvious as yesterday's leg up, 2 legs of correction, but I think it's it's like anything. I think the more you get used to seeing it, the more you can work it out. I still have to think sometimes, but other times it just looks clear. This is a little bit more involved in it because it's giving you mixed signals there, isn't it? But once we're out and we start working up in this line, I think that's good. See, the other slight problem is there may be a bigger range, so you know what I mean? You may come down here, take something, and it might pull back in, but that's the trouble sometimes. 1 minute you think you've got the better of it, next minute there's something else you missed. Yeah, see, looking on the 10,000 tick chart, it's looking quite clear, isn't it? We had a bit of sideways, then we had the news, and that gave us that spike, and then we're working in what looked like a two-tier channel. We came back, bounced off there, which is good, and so we've had a leg and a leg. Nice big bullish bar. Then we got this one. I think you're in Clay around about here, aren't you? And it's starting to look like it's pushing up. So I'd expect it to push up maybe above this and then maybe come down and end up having an even bigger channel. Mind you, that channel there is sort of the same, the width as there really. So we may have the same as second and then something like that. But it'd be nice to get a couple of legs down to here. You just can't go along there. You're in the middle of you're up in the clouds a bit there. It could go along there and it might trig and come down. So we just got to be patient, haven't we? In fact, I'm not taking anything until we get back down to here. So I'm going to take a quick 5-minute break. I'm going to make a quick cup of tea and I'll be back in 3 to 5 minutes. Okay, the signals are still good. Trouble is, we're still close to this. There's a bit of a support here, so you can't go long because it could just drop down and take you out here. So, okay, so leg, a little bit of sideways. In fact, leg, there was the leg, wasn't it? And ever since we've had that, we've started working up, which is a good sign. It just didn't do it that clear, really, did it, until it was starting to push up. Hopefully, maybe trap some longs here and then take a couple of legs back here. There's definitely a bit of resistance there, so I'd expect it to turn here and hopefully get back here somewhere. Yeah, that's a good sign, that is. Doing great, Clay. Wish I had this patience. It'll come, mate, it'll come. Patience does improve, I think, the more you sit on here, because, I don't know, it's just like getting used to it, isn't it? You're getting used to a new job, isn't it? And initially it is hard to just sit here, isn't it? And not only that, you're itching to get in, which is normal. You're quite excitable, you're itching, you can't wait, you've got the butterflies in your stomach, and after a while, it's like anything newish. It sort of wears off, doesn't it? And it becomes just like a job, which hopefully that's what we all want it to be like. Just and you know, turn up, do your job, and go home. And just trust the process. Take the trades. Win or lose, doesn't matter really. Ultimately, it's the bigger picture. Obviously, you want to win, but losing's part of it. It's just a business expense. I mean, to hold on to. Oh, is he still on that long? Is he? You're there. Thing is, I think initially sometimes you come out, don't you? But then if he came out there in 15 minutes' time, when it's probably 15 points higher, you'd be kicking yourself. You're at 5 points, are you? So if you took that there, you depending on where you took it, let's put it. Depending on where you took it, let's put it at the top. So 5 points. Oh, okay, you mean yeah. It's up to 5 points. Yeah, tempted to close, but as soon as I do, it will bounce. Yeah. I mean, if it comes down here, the thing is, sometimes you just got to use your initiative. What do you generally think? I know so many times I've got out of trades, but then you just never quite know. And sometimes you might wish you got in them. So that's the trouble. You never really know. And it's great to say, I wish I'd have held it, blah, blah, blah. But at the time, you never quite know. I mean, the signals are it's going higher, but it could. I'm expecting it to come down here, but obviously as it sucks up all this potential profit, it's having the confidence to let it come back, because it's going to, at some point, it's not going to stay like this and then just keep rocketing up. I feel like it will hit a measured move at 375. Yeah, you just never know, really. I mean, sometimes you're better off maybe taking your profit and then getting in back here or something, but you never know. What was the risk on it? It was a fair chunky bar, wasn't it? Let's have a look. So let's say the actual bar was 3.5 points. So tick above, tick below. Well, 4.25, depending on where you go in, whether you got an as a limit order or something. But trouble is, what I will say is, if it's working there, we're right up around the middle. So personally, you don't know whether it's going to push up higher there or whether it's going to come back here first. What I'll say is, I'm not thinking about going long here. I'd rather wait for it to come back. So are other traders thinking the same way? That's what I try and ask myself. I'm just wondering, if it breaks above this, is it going to snap back? So, I'd be inclined to take my profits here, I think, especially now we're close to the highs, because you don't know whether it's going to react to that line and come back. If you take your profits here, as we get 2 legs back, you can always get back in here, couldn't you? You just don't know, do you? But if we're in a little range here, as Max said yesterday, nearly always a breakout fails. And in an uptrend like this, when it's, it's well into getting towards the middle of this upper tier, then you would expect it to come back. So, but you just never know. Yeah, so if it was me, I'd be inclined to take it there personally. But don't listen to me, bud. You know what you're doing. But as it's a breakout, you don't know it's going to fail, and I'd expect it to come back in. It'd be a shame to miss profit up here and come back like 4 points, and then maybe, not make it. It's our decision to make. Ultimately, you never fully know, do you? So it's finished right there, which tells me it might be struggling to get about. So I'd probably think about what's it? Trouble is, when people are saying I do this, I do that, it's ultimately it's up to you. So if this is a channel, where could it go up here? Are you going to buy here? You might do. I don't know. If people are trading different time frames as well, that makes a difference. Sometimes when it does struggle, it just drops. I close one contract. That makes sense. Nice compromise there, mate. Take some of your profits. At least that way, yeah. I mean, you're here, aren't you, anyway? So you're well in the money, aren't you, at the moment? See, me as a trader wouldn't buy here. I'd want to wait for it to go down, which tells me there may be more sellers in that part of the market. Stop loss to 72. Yeah, that makes sense. 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 4 points up. So if you're only on a contract, it's a couple of $100, isn't it? So it's not a huge amount. Yeah, see, I'd be inclined to get my stop loss up here now. In case it does come down. But don't listen to me, bud. Sorry, I shouldn't be telling you that, really. It mixes with your thoughts then, doesn't it? See, this might not be a channel. That's a possibility. Mind you, if it is that, we've had almost a leg and a leg anyway, so... but I'd have probably been inclined to grab that as that went to there. And you're guaranteed yourself that way if it does come down. It's our decision, isn't it, really? But I mean, you could come out at 76, couldn't you? Or put your stop there at 76. You just don't know what it's going to do. Could go bearish and come down. It could go bearish, trigger, push up. It could do a lot of things, couldn't it? I'll shut up, mate. Sorry. It's surprising me. I'm surprised it is holding up here. So this could be a double top. So we got a bearish bar there. It came down, it pushed up strongly. So let's see if it triggers above. Oh, it's ticked above there. You're braver than me anyway. Trouble is, I think if you hold on, more than not, you get a decent run. So I think in the long term, it's better. That's what I plan to do, being able to hold. I just haven't got the confidence at the moment until I get these accounts a bit bigger. So where are you up to at the moment? So you're up to 8 points comfortably, aren't you there? We are coming to the top of this channel, so I wonder how much further it can go. So you're up to 8.5 points there. 9 points. Coming to the top of this thing now. Ooh, that's nice, that is. So I'll be inclined to keep my stop really tight up here now. I like the way it's touched that right on the top of our line. Where's the high up here? Touched, right at the top of there. So unless you've got another channel drawn, we're right at the top of that channel now. But it's not snapping back like I expected it would do. I mean, going up at that angle, it's going up. I can't see it getting up here without having a pullback. But that's just my personal opinion. Sometimes it surprises you and does exactly what you don't expect it to. Got a phone call, right, but probably someone telling you, get out of it, get out your trade, take your profits. You're still in this 11 points. Good on you, mate. Should I hold past the high of the day? It's on you, this one, mate. My only slight concern is see how it's touching there. See, me personally, I would snap every bit I got now. I would take it now personally. I mean, what you got to think about really is if other traders have got that line like that, are you going to want to buy there? I don't know. I have a feeling it's going to come back and come back quickly. But you have to do what's best for you because I don't want to influence you, although, I'll be inclined to grab every penny now quickly. But what I do expect it to continue up, but it may come back here like that first and come down to it. It'd be a shame to lose 4 points. Having said that, if we are continuing up, just the fact that it does that really in real term doesn't really matter because you came in down here. And even if I put your stop here, your stop's not going to get touched there, is it? I can't, if we are continuing up. So if it has a couple of legs down, you know what I mean? The monthly fees on the master accounts. The master accounts. You might be getting confused with one of the other prop firms, but they have a master account. The fees on here on a P account, there's two. It's I think it's $85 a month or a one-off payment of $140. That's on the $50,000 account. The monthly $85 is the same on all the accounts, but the one-off payment goes up a little bit as you go from 25 to 50 and 75 and so on. I don't think there's another channel there. There may be. It's a possibility. We'll soon see. I don't think it is, though, because it's just fitted along here so nice. And the way it's touched there, and touched there. No, I don't think it is. I think we're going to have a pullback now. That's why I'd be inclined to take mine here. I expect a couple of legs back or maybe retest this. But I do expect some higher, but you never know. It's a shame to have it come back here and then end up coming further back down. But you're in here nice and early anyway. Either way, you make profit. Yeah, absolutely. Trouble is, sometimes the market's got a way of surprising you. I haven't developed that confidence just yet to hold. But that'll come. I think that comes once your accounts get nice and comfortable. You know, if you've got quite a few £1,000 or dollars in your accounts, then, you know, if you're only risking $125, $130, I think it's worth holding, especially if you're reading the market right. And I suppose if your reads are pretty good in general, mine aren't too bad at the moment. I certainly get more right than I get wrong. So, I mean, we've had this strong push up. We've had two legs of correction. It's going sideways, then it starts to push up. It makes, I mean, at some point it's got to come down. It can't go going up. But when I say come down, I expect it to come down in a. I mean, that would be the ideal place to retest, really, wouldn't it? Along there, which is perfect around here. Still way over your, what are you out at 72? You're here, so I can't see it dropping below there. But it'd be nice to get down here and then move up again. In which case, once it starts to move in, you're even more in the money. Does the monthly fee get extracted automatically from your gains? No, you pay for it, bud. So whatever, you can go in and set whatever your payment method is. So you can change your cards if you want it at a different bank or a credit card or whatever. But no. But what I will say is if you've got $150,000 accounts, you've got an $85 monthly payment which continues every month, or a one-off of $140. So if you think you're going to hold that account for 30 days or more, you're better off paying for the one-off fee, because it'd be a shame to have to pay that $85 every month. So it's good for that. And another thing it does as well, there's no rush to grow the account. If you've got 10 accounts and you're paying $85 per month on each of them, that's $850. You know, you've pretty much got to start earning relatively quickly. But having that one-off payment, you can take your time a little bit, and if you get a bad day, you're okay to take a day off. You don't have to think, well, I've got to continue to pay. But obviously it depends on your finances. But if you think you're going to hold more than 30 days, because you pay your 85 and then 30 days you pay another 85, that's $170. So straight away you've paid $40 more. So obviously you've got to make a decision whether you think you're going to hold the account. Some people on those initial first counts, they want to get to, you know, $2,600 and get their money. So, you know, but once you're at that 30 days, you'd have been saving money with a one-off fee. So, nice to get a couple of legs down here. My only slight concern is I hate taking trades. I hate taking trades on here because you never quite know when it's going to decide to come to this side of the channel. Just check that there's no bigger channel I've got there. Yeah, see, looking on the 10,000 tick chart, we've had this leg up, 2 legs of correction, push it up. I mean, we're right at the top of this other channel here, so I'm just not a fan of taking them there because we could come back to this side. So it depends how good the setup is, really, isn't it? Certainly wouldn't take it that high. See, for me, that looks like it's trying to suck in longs. It goes up a bit. Come on, follow me. Come on, follow me. One more time. Come on. And all of a sudden, down it comes. Takes out that stop. It is a second entry, but it's just in the middle of nowhere. It's going sideways. It's a weak position. It's off. It's not even close to the EMA or even the midline. Doesn't mean it's not going to work. But for me, it just almost sucks traders in. It pushes up a bit, and pushes up a bit, and pushes out a bit. And then all of a sudden, down it comes. Takes out the stop. There we go. There'll have been times where I used to fall for that, but you can almost see what's going on. Go on, come on, follow me. Come on, this is the way, this is the way. Second entry long, come on, you're a great trader. As soon as you get in, wham, comes down, stops you out. It's a bugger, really. You know, I know they have these sayings that part of the things that that traders have going through the mind, like the market's against them, the market's trying against them, and it's not. I actually disagree, because the algorithm is designed to weed out weak positions, and if you take a weak position, the market's out to get you. So I actually disagree with that comment. As far as I'm concerned, it is out to make your life bloody miserable. Obviously, it's nothing personal as such, but it's out to weed things. And although it was a second entry, it was a weak position. What happened? Triggers you, stops you out. It sucks traders in, sucks you in, turns around, comes down, bounces closer to that and pushes up. And when it does that, it almost rubs your nose in it. It's like, there you go, got you. And rubs your nose in it. So then you think, okay, I won't fall for that again. I'll take it another one up here. And then what happens? It triggers you, comes down. I don't think it will. I don't know, but it does, doesn't it? It sucks you in, triggers you, comes down, spits you out, then pushes up again and goes, go on, let's have another go. Come on, you'll get it right this time, I promise. Go on, get in. And then you get in, and what happens? It starts to do that, and you go, bollocks. It's got me again. Nothing more frustrating than that. So it's taken 2 lots of money off you. It is frustrating, isn't it? It does. Gives you second entry long. Okay, I don't like that bear bar. Yeah. I mean, my honest opinion is we look like we're going up. So where we're going to come to, we've got to get around here somewhere, haven't we, really? I just can't take stuff here because, for me, it's a 2-tiered channel and it's going sideways. I always like it to come down here. I hate these 2-tiered channels. I like them and I hate them. But for me, it's a 2-tiered channel. We're working in this bottom tier. We have a little bit around the middle, push up, working in this top tier a bit. So for me, it's got to come back here for me to get into a trade. And you're down here, aren't you? Even if you stopped around here. at the bottom of this lot, I think it's safe, but it's ultimately down to you. I mean, it might not. It might come down and rock it down. You never quite know sometimes. There's always that possibility that things could change. Now, my honest opinion is we're clearly working up, and I think we're going to get to the highs. But that's what I mentioned about that. It's going up in too tight a channel, really, to continue up. It's got to have a pullback, because you're not going to want to buy. Why would you want to buy here right at the top of a channel when it's been going up tight? The only people left really are the shorts. So the shorts win over. So we come back. Some may have bought there as it came back to that line, but then we have another couple of pushes up. So you may have bought there, you may have bought there, you may have bought there, and all of a sudden, wham, it comes down and takes you out. So for me, it's got to come around about here, really. And then I always wait for a higher low. I never take that first one. I've learnt the hard way. And I know sometimes I'll miss out trades. Some traders, as soon as it comes back here, the bullish bar, they take them. I don't, fair dues to them. But I'm a bit too much of a coward for that. But it's not a place to buy here, is it really? So, that's what I mean. I'll be inclined to grab as much as I could there, especially when it comes to the top of that, because that's a place, in my opinion, especially if you got your channel right, that it's just not a place people are going to buy and push it higher. So leg. It's got to come over here for me, really. See, it may be another place that trapped traders. But it is frustrating. You can see what it's doing. It teases you in, doesn't it? And then all of a sudden stops you out, and then it pushes up and rubs your nose in it, and it's almost like, right, this is the right time. And then because guaranteed, as an experienced trader, maybe not, not doing it 6 months, 12 months, I don't know, you get into that. What's the first thing you do when you take a loss? You're frustrated and you want to get back in. And when it does that, what do you think? We'll jump back in again. And what it does, it triggers you and comes out. I don't know how many times I lost 2 trades within the space of a minute in the past. And it often does that. It just sucks you in. So you may have bought there, but for me, it's got to come back here, really. So I think that's a weak place to trade. You can almost see these traps now. It does make you wonder then why the hell I didn't just put a sell stop there and come out at the bottom, but a sell order there, but this is more like it, leg down. Let's get to this area and then start to work again. But for me, I'd say that's going to get stopped out. We're well into this other tier now, see? So in my opinion, coming down here. My entry is 69. 69 down here. You're down here, aren't you? Yeah. I mean, I can see this coming down to here. I don't think it'll come down much further. We haven't hit the highs. We're clearly working up. So if you're confident, but what I will say is if you come in here, even if you stopped around about here somewhere, I think under here, it's as safe as it's going to get, I think. Imagine if we start taking top of trend channel setups. Yeah. Well, it doesn't make you wonder, really. You see that and you take a short above it and you take out for 1 point. Yeah. So you just don't know sometimes when you can spot these areas that people are going to, inexperienced people are going to trade, and it does make you wonder whether you should just put a sell order there and just ride it down for a point. But what I will say, this looks like it's starting to go a bit sideways, so which is a good sign. Usually when it goes sideways, it continues up. We push up, sideways, push up, sideways, push up, sideways. Same again there, push up, sideways, but down a bit, sideways there, up again. So it's a good sign, this is. I thought we missed a really good trending day yesterday. But we may get another one. There's a leg. I can see another leg up here. So that would be really nice to get up here around about there. When trending, sometimes I'll take candle over candle scalps. I don't think that's a bad way to go, actually. I've often thought about that myself. When it goes up here, just move to the next candle and move to the next candle and move to the next candle. Yeah. I like to try and get a few more points. And yeah, I agree. So if you're going long here, move it to there, move it to there, move it to there. Yeah, I think that's quite a good way of trading, actually. Because if we're in a good strong market, we get a good setup, go to that one, go to that one, go to that one, and you may get 4 points. Sometimes you may get more. But yeah, I think that's quite a sensible way of trading, because obviously you've got scalps, you've got runners, and then you've got, you know, people in between. I class myself in between. I like to go to 2 to 3 points, but if I see a good enough setup, like the one yesterday we ended up missing, then I will hold on. But only in certain circumstances. But that's the type of trader I want to be. You know, I want to keep 2 points as my baseline. But sometimes if I don't think it'll do it, it'll only take a tick and a half. I got a point and a half. I got no issues with doing that. I'll take whatever I can get. But I like to keep 2 points as my baseline, I think. But I was looking through my trades yesterday over in Trading Sync, and I average per trade a fraction over 2 points per trade. And what I like to try and do is get that to, on average, 1 to 1, which I'm guessing is somewhere around about 2.75 points, because the market seems to flow around 2 to the ATR, 2 to 2.5. So I would say the average stop is around about 2 3/4 points. So I'd like to sort of get my average up to around about that. At the moment, I'm floating around 80%, 81, 82% win rate. So if you can get an 80% win rate on 1 to 1, I think it's a good area to be in there. I think you're going to do well out of that. So I'm trying to just increase which is why I've got my my one contract set at 3 points. So every time I get a trade, it'll take me up from 2 points to a little bit higher. But if I can get 1 to 1 at 8%. I'll be pretty pleased with that. 8% work for at least 80% works for at least 1 point. Oh, at least. If you look through the trades, Mac trades, it's very, very few trades make less than 2 points. If I had a bit of paper around here now, I can't find it anymore, but I went through Mac's trades over a couple of weeks, and I think he marked 105 trades, and 103 went for more than 2 points. So it's a huge amount. But yeah, if I can average around about 80% on 1 to 1, I think it's I think it's good. It's certainly enough to make money. But I'm floating around 2 points at the moment, fraction over, which is okay, I think. I did have a couple of losing days in a row, which doesn't help your average. So we're pushing up sideways. So I think this is interesting. If we can get to the right area. But the market is a bit slow today, isn't it? It's slowly grinding up. That ATR's dropped below 2 now, which is a good sign. Small bars continue on up is a good sign. But in all honesty, Clay, I think you're in exactly the right place. And I wouldn't be surprised in 45 minutes if we're up here somewhere in the slightest. There is a possibility of that bigger move. And you think about it, we've got one hell of a long way to go. We're now 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. There's a potential 35 points. And after that, I wouldn't be shocked if we do it at all. I mean, there's always the possibility we could make a new high and then come down, and it may turn into a bigger range. There's always that possibility. But it's looking, after that, it's looking really bullish. So I would say, after the days we've had, being really oversold, it's definitely due to push up. But if you think here, it's not even getting back to this before it's pushing up. So that tells me it's market's really strong. So I think you're going to do all right out of today, in all honesty. I'm just trying to think if there's something a bit tighter there we could trade. Trouble is, if you get that right, I might be waiting for trades here when it's hitting this area here, so that's not too bad, see? But the trouble is, if it is a two-tiered channel and I'm looking for a trade here, you don't know when it's going to come back, so yeah, I'm a bit on the fence here. We're about to test our highs of the day. Yeah, we are. I'm just going to put that back there for now. Where did I have it here? So the reason I like that is because we're fitting nice at the tops. You're out. Good on you, mate. Well done. I think that's a good call. I just hope we get there, because sometimes we'll push and then we'll drop before we get it, and I don't want to put the kibosh on it, but highs of the day is in about 1.25 anyway. Yeah, good on you, mate. I think that's a good decision, that, because it'd be a shame for it to go like that when you're a point away. Now, it might go, but I think it's sensible to get close enough, because sometimes when you wait and you hold on and it goes boom boom, you get frustrated there. So I think you've made a good choice there. Now, it's okay, it probably will go, but it's a point. So mate, you can't grumble at that. Oh, mate, that's bad luck. 13's bad luck. Oh, you might have just screwed yourself. No, I think you made the best decision, mate, there. I do. It's a point. So if you're on 2 contracts, you've cashed in a contract. It's a point, isn't it? It's not really. It's $50 in it. It's a shame to get $50 for it to come slamming back down to here, thinking, oh, balls. I'm going to have to wait for another 10 minutes. But I think you made a good decision there, mate. What I think is going to happen, it's going to trigger that short out. The next bar is going to trigger above it and it's going to come down. It might push up, I don't know, but 52 tick. You've just sat and worked that out, have you? You got way too much time on your hands. Great runner, yeah, good on you, mate. That's all right. See what happens if you're patient and you can work out what's going on, and it's relatively clear, isn't it? The only thing I'm not 100% convinced is whether there's maybe a smaller channel there, but it is. Usually we'll go from this to the next swing, which is clearly here, and that works as well, and so does that. And the top, so I think it's okay. Let's see if we get there. What you want to see now is for it to just drop and then come back to here, so you've taken your profits. Be interested to see if this one triggers and then comes down. I think it may do. Kind of wish I hadn't closed it now. Well, it's a point, isn't it, mate? What you've done is you've guaranteed what you've got. Yeah, I mean, it has it, but you just never know. I think sometimes you're always better to miss just a point and guarantee yourself rather than just hold on a little bit longer. So, I don't know. Mate, you've made 13 points. That's brilliant, that is. You've done well there. And then a big bearish bar. So let's see what happens now. It's got to come down now, isn't it? See, sometimes it'll get so far and then it'll drop before it has another run up. So I think you made a good decision there, mate. What I thought it might do is trigger one tick above this bar and then come down. Yeah, that's solid trading, that is, mate. It's having a lot of confidence as well. But at the end of the day, you got confidence in your skills. Now time to retire. You're going to go into another room with the whiskey and start shaking. It can take it out your trading, I've got to say, but no, you've done well there, mate. Nothing wrong with that at all. That is solid trading, that is. See, you never know. So I don't know how many times I've gone into trades before up here, just being silly on demos, and the second you get it down, it comes. But sometimes it'll make it, other times it'll just come down and have another run up. But you just never know, do you? I wish I could just have confidence that that might be a channel. Trouble is, we're all taught to believe that that's where you're drawn from, the low and the next swing, and then all of a sudden when the next 2-3 bars are, it's got to be here, isn't it? It's got to be in a 2-tier channel. I mean, fortunately, there's still a potential long way to go if that plays out, so do you know what I think I'm going to do this weekend? I think I might get onto this Discord and have a play around with it, because I think we could all benefit from it. Because sometimes I'm not sure of channels myself, and I ask you guys, but it'd be nice to have somewhere where you could post it if you want. You know, I think it's like this, I think it's like this. At least it might help us all out. If you can all see what other charts are, it might help us get the right one or get a better picture. Because if you got, you know, if I'm not sure about this and I see 3, you guys have got something a bit tighter there, then, you know, more reds are better than 1 there, see? So I think I'm going to have a play around with it. Yeah, I think it'd help us all there, really. You could just put, see, you guys can see my charts and you can compare it to yours. I'm sort of stuck with myself, and my confidence isn't amazing. Sometimes it's better than others, but I still question what I'm doing, you know what I mean? That's why I run stuff by you guys. So if we got a Discord on a spare channel above his head, at least then people can, you know, post their charts. And I think it'd be good for us all. So I'm going to play around with it. I pretty much know how to use it, but I'll have a play around with it over the weekend, get a little bit of YouTube time in and figure out how to play around with it properly and that. At least then we've got something, because it's okay chatting, but if we could have somewhere you could just post charts, I think it'd give us all, you know, an extra, maybe a bit of a helping hand. Sometimes, you know, if you've got 3 or 4 other people with exactly the same chart as you, you know, more reds are better than 1, so I'll do that over the weekend. See, it just doesn't look like it's ending, does it? Trouble is, guaranteed the second I jump in, it's almost like it's waiting for you. The trouble is, for me, that channel's right. From what, you know, from everything I've been taught, no resistance till 4,400, really. Trouble is, I'd like to see it come back to this side, because it started here and then it's moved into this tier. Now, the bit that concerns me about having 2-tier channels is you never know when it's going to decide to come back to this side. Now, we've had 3 pushes up there, so let's see what happens now. Trouble is, sometimes when you think it can't go any further without coming back, it just continues on. I'll tell you what, let's just drag this out of the way a minute. Touch, touch, touch. I'm starting to think that might be a bit better. I mean, if it does break and come over here, then it may be valid to do that. But even so, I wouldn't have taken that there at the moment because it's just a bit sideways, isn't it? I don't know. I got mixed feelings here, I really have. I mean, we're right at the highs here, so do you want to go long into that? Who knows? What have we got up here at 44? How far back do we go? The EMA on the daily has got to be up there somewhere. See, the trouble is with this big thing, we could come back here and then have a second leg up there. So I won't be surprised if that gets broken into two. Yeah, I'm still a bit unsure about this. Yeah, this is when Discord will be useful because a few of you could post charts. At least you got some mixed ideas then. I'll sort that out over the weekend for sure. So that's a possibility. Yeah. Trouble is, you never quite know, mate, do you? I wouldn't kick yourself for not holding, mate. No, you never know. See, if you'd have waited, it just could have dropped down quickly. You never quite know. I mean, to be honest, with 13 points, mate, that's nothing to be sniffed at. That's good. Not yet, bud. Not for me, no. Not yet. You're long. Don't tell me you're long from around about down here, I'd say, aren't you? Probably sandwich over this crazy week. Went for several overshoots, several overbought. Yeah, it's been it's been a fun time at the moment, isn't it? See, you could probably said 2 legs back. I mean, that might not be a terrible trade, high or low, but I'd want to be out before the lows, before these highs. You just kidding, aren't you? You just woke up, have you? So where are you? You're Hawaii, aren't you? So what are you? 8, 9, 10 hours? 8 to 10 hours behind us? We're now R4 UK time. So I say probably 10 hours here, 8, 10 hours. What I will say is it's working quite nice in this tier. 6:30, yeah, 10 hours, yeah. 10 hours, I'll say if East West. So you're off the west coast of the US, aren't you? Drunk last. Can't argue with that, mate. So that's the beauty of trading in the UK. I don't start trading. I mean, it's early at the moment because our clocks went back. You catch up on Sunday, don't you? But usually it's 2:30 in the afternoon for me, so it's great as a job. You don't have to get up early. I get up with my daughter in the morning. I sort of do a breakfast, take her to school, and wife goes off to work. So I kind of like it. I do. Leg up, yeah. It does look like a couple of legs, this, doesn't it? Trouble is, it depends how you have your channel. I had mine as more of a two-tiered channel, really. It's not very clear, is it? Yeah, you don't know, dear. You never know. See, sometimes it's really easy, really clear, but I initially went from down there, which kind of works as a two-tiered channel, so I don't know, maybe it still is. See, how sort of good does that fit as well? And that's the trouble. If you take that away, that's what I mean. You could come back here, so in fact, I'm not sure I'm a fan of that now. I think this is probably more like it. Yeah, I think that's more valid at the moment because that's sort of a two-tiered channel as well. Okay, Lance, I'm taking off. Have a good one. Yeah, you too, pal. Well done, mate. 13 points. Nice way to go into the weekend, that is. Yeah, have a great weekend, mate. We'll all sit here on 0 and think about you. $13 points. It's unlucky. You might break your leg over the weekend. Oh, 18 points, even better. Last thing you want to do is go into the weekend on 13 points. You might end up breaking a leg or something. You don't want to do that. I don't mind breaking legs. I worry about breaking my right hand finger, my index finger as a trader. I might get my index finger insured. You can break any part of your body, can't you? Apart from your index finger. I just suppose you can click with your middle finger, couldn't you? It's alright, that, mate. Bloody good day, that 18 points. It's been a while since I've had 18 points. Months. Hello, Sam. How you doing, bud? We're all having dilemmas on what's going on here. So we've had this leg up, 2 legs of correction, and now we're going up again. I've had it as a 2-tiered channel from here, slightly wider, but I've just adjusted it. Pretty much could have gone long at any time. Yeah, the trouble is you never know that, do you? It is bullish, yeah. The trouble is you never know. And you know, my experience is sometimes on evaluations, and I've just decided to go long, it's triggered me and stopped me out. So yeah, it's as if it just waits for that perfect moment, doesn't it? And then down it comes. Compared to last weekend, yeah, it is, mate. Yeah, I mean, it was a shame about yesterday. So, do you know about yesterday? We obviously had that. It never affected me, but there was quite a few it affected. There was a problem with rhythmic, but it was a lovely day yesterday. Particularly, we had that initial leg, 2 legs of correction, and an absolute beauty higher low there, which just took us right up. What did that go up? From there, 5, 10, 15. It went up 20 points just to these highs. You're still on a break, yeah. It's a shame, though, to flipping miss that when you get this. Apex not sent anything out regarding... No, they haven't there. I noticed Daryl Martin just put a message saying it had been fixed. Didn't say much else, really, but... apparently it was just doing some odd things. There was I think trades opening up by themselves and not being able to shut down. So there was quite a few panic traders around yesterday. God, this is so frustrating, isn't it? We got a leg. Time, how long are we going? 3 hours. It's gonna be one of those days today. Do you know, I'm thinking about knock on the head actually. Yeah, I think I'm going to finish today, folks. We've done 3 hours now, over 3 hours. It's just going to be one of those days today. So, yeah. Okay, so, right, have a great afternoon. I hope you get something. Price always running away, yeah. I hope you get something. But I'll be back here same time tomorrow. Oh, no, it's weekend, isn't it? Yeah, I'm going to finish early, go and have myself a couple of scotches. So, yeah, have a great weekend, folks. Stay safe, and I will see you all on Monday. Have a brilliant weekend.